Reviewing my 2021 bullet journals. Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. Today I am super excited because this video has been a year in the making in that we are going to be filling out this layout. Now, I did this layout as part of my 2022 mid-year setup and I'm super excited. We're going to take a look back and see what colors I used and we're going to fill them in. So we started off in my Archer and Olive plant-based bride collab, the rising sun or the setting sun, I can't remember exactly. For January, my theme was cupcakes. Work hard, snack often. So for coloring in, we're going to be looking at red, yellow, orange, green. There's definitely the green in there. So I think that's what we'll be adding to this. And then for February, we had this. Now, I actually ended up making a pattern out of this and I absolutely love these colors. The world disagrees with me. If you disagree with me, please let me know down in the comments. I know it's so seldom that people allow you to disagree with them openly on social media, but if you don't like this color scheme, just let me know down below. I'm curious. Let's call it an informal pull, I guess. And then this was my luxury florals. This actually ended up as a pattern as well. So had a lot of fun with this. I have to make some changes to those patterns and then I can share them more with you guys. April, we had the chickens. They were super fun to make and put together. And then for May, we had this super fun Polaroid theme. And then was this one June? Did I not do a layout for July? So this is June. I'm actually working on a pattern for this guy right now. And this is kind of cool. We have our colors that we need right there. For July, I switched into a new journal, even though I had lots of space. But I didn't think I had as much space as I actually had. These super fun bright colors. And I think for August, it was a similar color scheme. That was super fun. September was one of my favorite themes and layouts to date, which has been the bookshelf theme. Oh, I haven't pulled this pull tab since making the videos. So, and then October we did this fun theme. October I had to change up last minute since my initial plan for my theme didn't work out, but I actually ended up having a lot of fun with this one. And then November we kept super simple and I barely used my notebook in November, as you can see, but that's okay, that happens. These cute little houses. I might not have enough options for these guys, so I might have to choose which ones I use. And then of course December, the super fun little pattern that I put together. So I decided to use acrylographs to fill out my year in color. Thankfully I had enough colors to represent my themes and my color palettes throughout the year. I actually did use acrylographs for a lot of them and I used gouache for a lot of them. Gouache would have been fun to use to fill this out as well, but that was just too much color mixing and I was too excited to see what this was going to look like finished. So I just went ahead and used my acrylographs. This was such a fun layout to have and I'm going to recreate this one when I do my mid-year bullet journal setup again. It's really fun to go back and see which colors I used. Like I said, I love the February colors. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but as I loved it so much, I made a pattern out of it. So, yeah, let me know which color scheme was your favorite. You can let me know at the end of the video. There were some cuts in here when my camera stopped filming, so I do apologize for that. But you get the gist, especially at the end when I show everything all finished all together. Now, the one thing I want to talk about is where I get my color inspiration from. A lot of times I use Coolors, Coolors. I'll link that down below. It's a color palette generating app, and it's really helpful, especially if you're stuck. Another place I go is Pinterest, obviously. You look at the paint samples and the paint chip type setups and get some inspiration from that. If I'm using anything out of Pinterest, what I'll do is I'll move it into Procreate and make some changes to the colors, whether it's taking out some of the muddiness and making the colors a bit more brighter. I'll just kind of play with it until I get a feel for what I want, and then also making sure that the colors all work together. You can also use Canva. Canva has some great tools to help you figure out color palettes, especially if you're looking at complementary and triadic colors and trying to figure out how to combine bright colors together. So that's where I get my inspiration from. Sometimes it's work that I've done in the past or colors I've used in the past, colors I see lying on my desk all together. It just really all depends. But those are my main sources. I'll link those all down below for you. In terms of getting inspiration for my months, for my themes, I guess what I'll do is I'll think about the month as a whole and think about what happens in that month. So for example, April tends to be Easter. So if you think the rebirth and stuff like that. So I did chickens and eggs. So basically you start at point A and eventually go around until you get to another point. August was fruit, which I know is very standard for the month, but I was so excited to use that pattern. I haven't made it available on print-on-demand sites yet. But it will be shortly. I don't know why I'm so nervous to share it, but I am. For July, it was a Polaroid camera theme. Well, it's summer. I tend to take more pictures out in the summer, so that was kind of my thinking there. June was cactus. I've never actually done a cactus theme until this year, so it was kind of fun to finally get to do one. And then I'll talk more about this in another video, but I basically take my themes and my illustrations and turn them into patterns. And for June, my cactus theme, I'm turning that into a mini collection, and that is in the works right now. So having fun playing with that. So yeah, like I said, I'll definitely be bringing this back. I'll link my bullet journal setup playlist down below so that you can check out when I set up all of these themes in my bullet journal. You can go check that out if you want some more inspiration. I have also linked my blog post where you can go and read about it, see more pictures, see how the themes and the colors work together. I did find that very interesting, that the colors worked better for the theme when it was kind of spread out all over the page versus all together here. It kind of, I don't know, it kind of makes my eyes tired. But it's also really fun to look back and reflect on how I felt and which color palette I used. Now, the only thing to note is that February I set up in January, March I set up in February. So that color palette reflects the month before and how I felt the month before. So it's kind of like a mood tracker, a yearly mood tracker kind of automatically built in. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing this again. So there we have my year in color. I did go back in and do pine green just to fill that out. And that's what it looks like. So I find it funny because July and August was definitely when I was struggling the most. And I feel like those are my favorite colors. I also love January. The most surprising thing to me was the number of times I used orange. And then also pink. I use pink quite a bit, which again, I'm not a huge pink fan. And it looks like I like to use brown as a neutral too, especially in the later part of the year. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's video and I hope you enjoyed filling this in with me. I will see you guys in the next one.